Hi everyone, I'm Amori Amin and this is from Mistay, a third video this week. That's very interesting. But this video was inspired by a conversation I was having with my good sis April, and we were talking about the time and space in which a lot of us find ourselves in or have found ourselves in at one time, but it seems to be happening now in waves, is about the tower moments and how right now we're feeling like we are in the tower. And I wanted to talk, and it wasn't necessarily about the tower, but in our conversation, this card popped up. And if you can see it, ignore my crappy nails, but it is the tower card and everything that happens with it. And I think what is occurring is a lot of times on our journeys through life, our spiritual journeys, it doesn't matter what it is. We go through and feel like, okay, we made the choice to make our lives better. We made the choice to, move to a new city. We made this choice and we think it's supposed to be, for some reason, I'm hearing the song, Nothing But Smooth Sailing Tonight. It's an old song. Anywhere that you want to be, it's mine, forever mine. I think that's the lyrics. Sometimes I make up lyrics in my head to what it feels like. But anyway, the song is Nothing But Smooth Sailing Tonight. So that's what we think it's going to be. But that's not what it is. What ends up happening, and so I was guided to pull the cards that are before the tower in the major arcana and some that are after. And so the card before the tower is the devil card. And a lot of people get afraid of this card, but there's so much meaning that you can get from just learning about this card, just looking at it, getting intuitive guidance. But essentially, you see the man and the woman there, which are parts of yourself that are chained by choice to the pedestal where the devil is sitting. And I think it's Baphomet. I may be saying it incorrectly. And there's so much meaning behind that entity as well. And it's not exactly what you think. Who's also holding up the Vulcan center? If you Vulcan symbol, if you are a fellow Trekkie out there, just as I am. But after you make this choice, and you make the choice to either release yourself from some desire, from lower, just anything that's not right for you. So we can take that particular version of this card. Once you make the choice to be released from decisions that you've made in the past, from experiences in the past, from any type of anything that you may have feel has been a mistake of the past, and you're holding yourself accountable, or you're holding a bunch of others accountable for those things. Once you make the choice to be released from that, that's where forgiveness comes in. Forgiveness is the releasing of the chains that bound you. And you see, they're bound by their neck. They're not bound by their bodies. They're bound by their neck. They're bound by their neck because it is the neck that gives direction to the head. And so if you can't move, if you're made immobile, then you have no ability to go forward or even to go backward. You're just stuck in a place of stagnancy, and you are forcefully stuck by the chains. But remember, these are the chains that you placed around your own neck and you're able to remove. And that's why they show the chains so loosely tied, so loosely shown around the necks of the man and the woman, which represents the masculine and feminine of yourself. And it also represents choice. And when you make the choice to remove those chains, to break out of those chains, you think, oh, well, then I can move on out into the sunset. So you think that you are going to be like the sun card, like the little naked baby, and saying, I'm walking on sunshine. Hey, because every time I see this song, in my mind thinks of music a lot of times. That's the song that comes to my mind every time I see this happy baby. But you think that is next. But actually what's next is the tower. The tower are the consequences of the choice that you made before. And the choice that you could have made to follow into spiritual enlightenment, if you're breaking away even from a religious institution, or even something as simple as, I'm going to move to another city, or like I am, I'm moving to another country, continent to be exact. But you're choosing to break away. You have chosen to remove the chains that are around you in your current state. And I'm looking down at the devil card. And you're choosing to break away from that. You're choosing to make a change in your life. And a lot of times what's happening in the spiritual community is that you choose to break away from any of the religious practices that you had before. And you're thinking that it's going to be a cakewalk. But there are consequences to that choice. A lot of times we have the consequences of we're removed from the communities in which we were. If you were from an organized religion that had strong community ties, and they had those ties that are around that says, okay, in order to be in, let's say if you're in Jehovah's Witness, and those are very strong community ties, or even in certain forms of Islam, very strong community ties, and suddenly you break away from that organized religion, and then you are excommunicated. So everything about your life has fallen away. Or even something not even that extreme. It could be that everything that you've learned up to that time, you feel like, oh my God, it was a lie. You feel like, oh God, I cannot even say this one particular phrase anymore because the way that it was taught to me is a lie. Or, oh God, I can't live this way anymore because that way of life to me is a lie. It's that breaking away. And when you break away, that tower moment happens. Everything that you thought up to that time that was so massively important to you falls away. Your decision comes in like a lightning strike to the tower, to the place where you live. Your home is where you live. Your mind is where you live. Your body is where you live. To everything that is housing you spiritually, it's broken away. And everything that you learned before is now being destroyed, dismantled, falling apart. And that's why you see these two, you see the emperor there. You see him falling. You see all of these caricatures. You see this crown that's falling off. Everything that was covering your head at the moment that you felt was rulership over you has taken away and fallen away. And even though you made the choice to remove those chains from around you, even though you voluntarily made this choice, it still becomes something where I can't believe that this is happening. I can't believe that my life was this way. Also, I'm going to miss X thing, miss X person. It could be that you break away from a relationship. Sorry, I'm still on the clock here, but this message is important. It could be that you're breaking away from a relationship. It could be a marriage. A marriage was so abusive to you mentally, physically, emotionally, and you're breaking away. But then you suddenly find yourself in the tower. That all these things fell apart because you thought that you would walk into the next phase of your life in sunshine. But really, everything that you knew before has to fall away also. That foundation must be destroyed so that you then can be rebuilt on a different type of foundation. The foundation that you built your life on before has to go away. And yes, you will realize that you are emotionally tied to it. It's like a hoarder. The hoarder will know that the home in which they're living in, those things aren't any good. It could be a barrette that's covered in cat feces that also has cat urine, but it's like, I have a memory associated with this thing, so I'm going to keep it and think that I can wipe it off and be used again. But no, it's no good. It has to be destroyed and removed from you. And it's in that destruction of it, that destruction of a life, that destruction of a thought, all of that happens, which causes you pain, can cause you turmoil at the time. It is for your good. So when you find yourself in these tower moments that can't be avoided, the tower is for your good. It is the breakdown to get you down to, and for some reason I'm hearing this song, Broken Down to the Very Last Compound from My Philosophy by Boogie Down Production. But it's that breakdown to get you down to that finest element of which is making up of you to create a new foundation. So a lot of times people want to give up during this tower moment. A lot of times people want to just keep their little patch of a house that's there. Yes, it's been burnt out. Yes, it's missing a roof, but it's the house that I know. And they don't want to allow the collapse to continue to build the house that you deserve, the life that you deserve, because you at least know this. And even in its kind of deconstructed manner in which your house, in which your life is, it's still familiar enough that you want to hold on to it. But you have to find some type of comfort in knowing that all of us go through this. All of us have this moment. And there are towers that doesn't happen just one time. It continues to happen as you level up in life, as you level up in your knowledge, as you level up in spirituality, as you level up in general, as experiences come along and causes you to level up, as you graduate in your life's purpose, a tower will happen. Sometimes you have to separate from people. Sometimes you have to separate from your home life. Sometimes you have to separate from yourself, which can be the older version of yourself. And you have to separate from that and go into the newer version. Sometimes that must happen in order for you to level up. And I want us to not get so caught up in the tower moment that we feel like that we have to patch this old home together because it's familiar, because now we're going to step out into the unknown, which will later be the moon, that we will go into this place. Because while this tower moment is happening, also the healing is coming in from the star. The healing is coming in to get us right again, to mend those wounds. But you have to have a wound in order for it to be mended. You have to have a moment where things are being destroyed in order for it to come back in and start being rebuilt. You have to allow the destruction of that old life, that old way of being to happen in order to come into the new. And that will cause in the healing, but you can't skip the wounding. You can't skip the exposure of the wounding, because that's what the tower does. It shows you your wounding. Everything that has triggered you before, everything that has hurt you before, it is an exposure of that wounding. The part of forgiveness that happens is you are now showing what actually wounded you, and then you can begin forgiving yourself, forgiving others, and so that the healing can come in. But you must have that exposure first so that the healing can come in. And then you can step out into an area that is unknown. You've never gone through this before. You've never stepped foot in this direction in your life before. You've never actually placed one toe on your path of destiny that's coming before you, because this journey is being made new to you. Because you made this choice. You made the choice to remove the chain. And then everything that was before is now being destroyed. So you can then get the healing. So you can get that water, so you can become hydrated. You can become filled again. So you can continue on the journey that is unknown. But when you go into that journey that is unknown, you will never be alone. There will always be the sun that's there to guide you. Because all the moon is a reflection of the sun. That's why you have in the moon card the sun and moon together. Because the light of the moon is based on the light that is illuminated by the sun. So just know, in your moment where you're going through the tower, where everything that you have known before is completely dismantled, completely destroyed, all the destruction is going on around you. And you can feel that very much emotionally, that the healing does come in. But you can't be healed until you allow the wounds to be exposed. So I want to thank you so much for your time. I wanted to make this a quick video because right now a lot of us are going through the tower moments in our lives. A lot of us are going through where everything that ruled us before is being removed, where it could be religious practices that ruled us before are being removed. And I'm not saying that religion is terrible, because I very much do believe in the man called Jesus. I very much do believe in the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad. I very much do and in line with the Orishas. But that comes in after a bunch of understanding, where you get to have the removal of all of that false teachings that came in before. All of that was set up about power. That's why you see those in ruler. That's why the crown is breaking off. It's set up to keep people in a position of power versus empowering those who are the children of the Creator, who are the children of God. It's set up to keep those, a small set, to remain in power and become oppressors. But the real teachings of Jesus is about freedom. The real teachings of Jesus is about justice. The real teachings of Jesus is about equality. The real teachings of Jesus will raise you up instead of pushing you down. But you have to go through the tower first. in order to expose those wounds of the past so you can let that healing come into you. And then you can take the path in learning about different ways of life, different ways of being that are best for you. Because you came into this world as a naked baby. Everything anew, everything before you, everything based on truth. Because in your mother's womb, you were at one with the Creator. You were at one with God. So when you came into this earth, everything that you knew at that time was complete on your spiritual level. But you have to go through life in the human form, which is where you come in that ignorance of human life, because you lived in a spiritual version where you were formulated and being taught directly in your spiritual ear by the Creator. And so everything in life has to be broken down from your human experience and from your human existence to get you back to here. And so, again, I didn't want to jump into that, but that was a message that had to come out for somebody, including myself. So I thank you so much for your time, and I want you to know that there is healing. I want you to know that there are people out here who have gone through and are going through the same thing that you are. And there is always a community for you to help you through it, to help guide you through it, to support you in it, to be there for you, to be their elixir when you need it, to help those wounds, to just share. Because sometimes sharing is the best medicine, so that you know that you are never alone, you're never by yourself, and you're always surrounded in love. So please remember who you are and whose you are, and have a great day.